15 seconds. 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
In your face, all over the place. We're online 24/7. 24/7. You're listening to the hottest internet station.
From beautiful Saline in southeastern Michigan.
Around the world at sunsky.mysteries.com.
This is the 2009 Top 10 Webcam in the World winner. This is SETV.
Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to our Tuesday night show. My name is Bill Zam, and you are watching Surrounded by Idiots. We are eagerly awaiting the arrival of our guest, Mr. L.A. Marzulli, so that we can talk to him about several issues, including the Middle East, the Nephilim, and a bunch of other topics that we would like to talk to him about. So while we are waiting for him to come online, incidentally, this is his blog right here. This is the L.A. Marzulli blog. I have everything zoomed in so that we can see it better. I can zoom out like this so that you can see his website. His website is at marzulli.wordpress.com. That's LAMARZULLI.wordpress.com. So we are going to be discussing several items with him tonight. So I'm going to go ahead and do the monologue while we wait for him to show up. Maybe he'll be here and maybe he won't. Pardon me while I do a little bit of configuration here. I have been rather ill for the past couple of weeks. I'd like to thank everybody for their thoughts and prayers during my recovery. It all started out with a intestinal disaster, if you will. And then right after that, I developed a head cold. Well, I used the usual zinc spray and got rid of the head cold within 48 hours. Now, I have had a history of every time I get a cold, it goes right down into my lungs, and I either get a choice of bronchitis or walking pneumonia. Your choice. This time it happened to be walking pneumonia, so I got the usual antibiotics and prescription cough medicine and whatnot, and then immediately after that I got yet another head cold. The only thing I'm missing for the trifecta is the flu, which I'm sure is going to be coming along at any time. So that's why my voice sounds a little bit rough. Now, you know, the Middle East is out of the view of mainstream media. Ho-hum, nothing happening anymore. Well, except for the end of the world, Armageddon and such. But that ruins the opportunity to instruct you about what is really happening. That's important on American Idol. Look, I spend my days around people that aren't awake, and that's okay. That's up to them. But I kind of take that back. We have to ask ourselves, who the hell would want to immerse themselves in learning about what God wants, or how He is talking to us to prepare? Who in their right mind would want to live in ignorance until your corner gas station has no fuel for you? Your grocery store has no food for you. Your government wants you to sit and stay. Well, apparently, the vast majority, that's who. And that's why we are surrounded by idiots, waiting for them to wake up. Pardon me while I keep glancing over at the other screen to see if our guest has arrived yet. Folks, if I told you half of what goes on behind the scenes, you would run for the hills right now. That's the dirty little secret about this thing called Surrounded by Idiots. I have so much information and so little time. Tonight, as I sit here, I am getting the distinct feeling that others around the world, individuals, those of us that are in fact what we call awake, seem to be, for a lack of a better term with my limited knowledge of the English language, getting our houses in order. Gasoline prices are now moving up as the chess pieces are moved around on the board once more. Iran has stopped shipping fuel to the oil to the UK and France. The Israelis are muttering and fuming over there in Israel. And meanwhile, Obama has decided to reduce our nuclear capability by 80%. That's 1950 level. In the meantime, Vladimir Putin has decided to increase the Russian military capabilities, including their nuclear missiles. How do you like that? But that's not what I'm afraid of. What I'm afraid of is for all of us. Us as in the children of God, for evil is upon us. And the sooner we come to grips with that, the better off we will all be. Now here's something interesting I came across in the past couple of days. The first President Bush, that would be George Herbert Walker Bush, decided through James Baker, you all remember James Baker, I believe he was the Secretary of State there for a while, they decided to give, that's right, give sovereign United States soil to Russia without consulting the state that it belongs to, without any approval from the citizens of that state, or without the approval of the Congress or Senate. The good news is that it has been languishing for many, many years. The bad news is that Obama now wants to seal the deal after all these years. The really bad news is that it is vastly rich in natural resources such as oil and natural gas. So let's just go ahead and give it to somebody else. Maybe they'll be nice to us. Another item we'd like to talk about is our good friend, Big Brother. Hold on a minute. I happen to have a special audio effect for Big Brother.
Big Brother wants you to sit down and behave. Ignore everything that you see. Everything is fine. Don't worry about it. It's cool. Just sit down and watch American Idol.
I've been dying to do that for months. We want to talk about our good friend. Oops, sorry, oversaturated the microphone. About our good friend, Big Brother. You see, we started out our social networking site. Let me get that up on the screen for you right quick. Let me get our social networking site up. Okay, here we go. Hold on one moment while it comes up, and here it is. We have our own social networking site. We went ahead and made it live a couple of weeks ago. It has all kinds of neat, different aspects to it that we developed. We've developed most of this ourselves. Let me see here. Let me zoom back a little bit so that we can see all of the features here. There we go. We have two different sides to this thing. We have a social side and an information side. On the information side, this is very much like the other social sites that you see on the internet, namely Facebook, or if you happen to know somebody really ugly that's on there, you can call it Horseface. That's a joke from Facebook, by the way. There's a million jokes like that on Facebook. If you got an ugly friend that joins up, it's called Horseface. We haven't decided what we're going to call ours yet. But at any rate, we have the information side and we have the social side. On the information side, and it's set up a lot like all of the other social sites. We have groups for sharing snippets of articles that you found, and each group has its own discussion area. And the discussion areas are exactly for putting your own original works in there, whereas the groups are for putting snippets of articles that you have found on the internet. And you can attach YouTube videos, you can attach files, you can attach photos, you can attach links. And on the social side, you have your profile. You can have a link to your own blog, your avatar. You can have your own Twitter feed on there. You can log in using Facebook or Twitter. You have a wall, just like on Facebook. You're probably familiar with that already. You can post anything you want on the social side. It's all yours. The information side, we have rules on that side. On the social side, it's pretty much anything goes. You can post anything you want. You can have discussions with your friends. You can see everyone in your group of friends and see what they have to say. Of course, you have your wall. You can have links, your favorite sites. You can have different apps on there. You can attach photos. You can attach videos. And you can also have your own private messages. You can have your own social albums on there as well. And the nice thing about the social albums is that you can link to your YouTube channel, your Flickr page, your Twitter account, and your Facebook page, all on there. Now, we did this because on the internet, the information that we have here on the show, like from L.A. Marzulli, who is still not online yet, we're kind of waiting for him to show up here. We have guys like L.A. Marzulli. Tomorrow night, we are going to have Cliff High on the show. He was our very first guest. Rumor has it that Cliff has made some decisions about doing interviews and the WebBot report. We're going to talk to him about that tomorrow night, and he has let us know that the information that he has is not going to be pleasant. I repeat, not pleasant. Viewer discretion advised. We have Russ Dizdar on. We have Pastor Bagley on. We have John DiNardo on. We have all sorts of people on the show. Each one of them has their own website. Each website is designed differently. Everybody has their own website address and has their own way of presenting the information. What we seek to do is be able to gather all of that information and all of those websites all together in one social network. So you can see what John has to say, you can see what Marzulli has to say, you can see what Bagley has to say, you can see what Cliff has to say, all at one site, and you can go to their sites. If you have a blog, you can have your link for your blog up on there also. One convenient place for everybody to gather to discuss what's going on in the world. Plus, on the social side, you can have your people that are still asleep, your sheeple. They can come in and they can discuss things. Now, you know, a lot of these social networks now, if you discuss, and this goes for and I'm not going to mention any names on the social networks because I'm not sure. I haven't done a lot of research on it yet. But here's the thing. If you discuss traditional family values, your Christian family values, they now consider that to be hate speech. Think about that. Regular Christian family values are now considered hate speech. We don't make that distinction on our site. Now, we decided to go ahead and roll out the social website about a week ago so it can be banned that much more quickly from the Google searches, because we're looking to really get banned from Google. It's a place where people can get together and do the whole social networking thing with the promise that their information won't be tracked or used by SETV. That's me. I am the owner of that corporation. We're not going to use your information. Now, here's the problem. The problem is that when most people go to a website, you, me, them, everybody, when people go to a website, you're carrying Google, Yahoo, Bing, Ask. you're carrying all of their breadcrumbs with you. Everywhere you go, you're leaving a trail of breadcrumbs. Most people have seen that if you go to look for something on the internet, say hiking boots, for the next month you're seeing nothing but ads for hiking boots on all the websites you go to. Those are the breadcrumbs that you're leaving. It's sad, but true, and there's virtually no way to get away from it. If we use Google ads, you'll be seeing that stuff on the Google ads. If we use Yahoo ads, you'll be seeing that. If we use Bing ads, you'll be seeing that. We use the AdBright network. Well, if you play games, you're going to see game ads. There's really no way around it. And because this is a corporation, we got to make money somehow, so we got to have the ads. We're still working on how we're going to do that. We are also accepting advertisers. The advertisers will be on the site that you see now. If you're on the audio side, it'll be on the audio side. If you're on the video side, your ad will be on the video side. It'll be on the social side, and our soon to be rolled out video site. That's right, we are in fact working on a video site where all of our shows are going to be available 24 hours a day without the usual YouTube hassle of them claiming a copyright on me talking, which is amazing. Which leads me, since we don't seem to have a guest tonight, which leads me to a topic that I'm going to talk. Oh, incidentally, if anybody wants to call into the show, the Skype name is BillZam1. That's BILLXAM and the number 1. BillZam1. Call in and have a talk with us on the Skype. At any rate, the United States Supreme Court has decided, let me bring this up on the screen here so that you can see it, and this is going to be interesting to say the least. Let me scroll down here. Let me know when you guys get dizzy and I'll stop scrolling. Okay, here we go. Now, the United States Supreme Court has ruled that something that producers like mine and myself and other producers that do radio shows, videos, things like that, the United States Supreme Court has said that public domain works. Things that are in the public domain. Old movies, videos, audio files, that sort of thing can be copyrighted. So in other words, if you are using, let's say, something that's in the public domain. As a matter of fact, the very first movie ever made was made in Thomas Edison's lab, and it's in the public domain. Anybody can use it and download it. I have a copy of it myself. That can be copyrighted. So you could be using it in a million different videos. All of a sudden it's got a copyright, and now you're in violation of it. Yet another side effect of the International ACTA legislation. Brought to you by the United States Supreme Court. That's the United States Supreme Court taking away your freedoms one by one. Lose yours today. At any rate, let's go on with the article here. In a 6-2 vote, the justices rejected arguments based on the First Amendment and the Constitution Copyright Clause, saying that the public domain was not a category of constitutional significance. So let's go back here just for a second. The Constitution lays out the rules for the copyright, apparently, and the Supreme Court says, nah, you just throw that crap right out the window. In the case Golan versus Holder, number 100-545, considered a 1994 law enacted to carry out an international convention. The law applied mainly to works first published abroad from 1923 to 1989 that had earlier not been eligible for copyright protection under American law, including films by Alfred Hitchcock, books by C.S. Lewis and Virginia Woolf, symphonies by some guy whose name I can't pronounce, and Stradivari, and paintings by Picasso. The precise number of affected works is unknown, but probably number in the millions. Mary Beth Peters, the United States Registrar of Copyright, said in 1996. The law was challenged by orchestra conductors, teachers, and film archivists who said they had relied for years on the free availability of such works. Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg, writing for the majority, said the law had merely put foreign works on an equal footing with their U.S. counterparts. Assuming a foreign or domestic author died the same day, their works will enter in the public domain simultaneously. That is garbage. She gave examples. Peter and the Wolf could once be performed free of charge, while now, she said, the right to perform it must be obtained in the marketplace. This is the same marketplace, of course, that exists for the music of what's-his-name's U.S. contemporaries. So, well, we're screwed is what it amounts to. They've taken away yet another ability that teachers, producers, composers, even your local elementary school. When I was a little kid, we performed Peter and the Wolf for a play. You can't do that anymore unless you get permission to do it. That's not only stupid, it's insane. So let's go back over to something that I learned about a couple of days ago. I don't know if all of you, many of you, or none of you are familiar with a gentleman by the name of Judge Andrew Napolitano. No relation to the Department of Homeland Security thing, whatever she is. Judge Napolitano is a libertarian, a very conservative libertarian. He had a show on the television. I believe it was called Voice of Freedom, Freedom Works, something like that. We don't get that channel because it's a premium channel, so we don't get it. But Judge Napolitano is a very, very outspoken person. He is a former federal judge, retired, so he knows about the Constitution and he knows about the law. He is a constitutionalist. He believes in following the Constitution as it was laid out, not interpreting it. At any rate, if we go back here, the title of this particular little commentary that I put together is called Police State Here We Come, or Say, is that a swastika or are you happy to see me? It's not coincidence that these voices are removed from the public discourse once they become too powerful. We are progressing towards a police state. As our military can now arrest anyone and hold them indefinitely without bringing charges against them, Judge Napolitano hammered this travesty of our constitutional rights over and over again on the show. Now he's gone. A coincidence? I think not. Thank you, Judge Napolitano. We appreciate your hard work. Excuse me, I am beginning to lose my voice because we had actually expected to have a guest on tonight. Sadly, we do not. We will reschedule our guest, L.A. Marzulli. And, well, that's about it for tonight. Sorry. Tomorrow night we're going to have Cliff High on, so stop by for Cliff High. And we appreciate everybody tuning in, and we'll start replaying other shows here in a minute, and see you guys later.